So I can't help but notice that every single person in this class has one thing in common, and that would be that each and every one of us has hair. And we have long hair, short hair, curly hair, whatever. We all have it. And I know what you're thinking. It's like, yeah, Mike, we all have hair. What's your point? And just hear me out. Many years ago, my sister was diagnosed with leukemia, which is actually a form of cancer. She went through years and years of battles and treatments and chemotherapy, and as a result of that, she actually lost all of her hair. And it was a terrible thing to see firsthand, just because you see how it affects these people. She dealt with bullying, she felt completely ostracized from her friends in a time when you really want to fit in. And it's not just her, it could really affect anyone, because like I said, we all have hair. Based on statistic by the International Society of Hair Restoration Surgery, approximately 35 million men and 21 million women a year suffer from hair loss, and that was last updated July 27, 2013. So obviously this is a huge problem. It's affecting people worldwide and even in America, and there's many causes to this problem too. Of course, I have some solutions to this problem that I'll get into in a little bit, but there's oppositions that follow that too. So what I mean by hair loss is literally the loss of hair on your head. Can't get it really any more basic than that. Essentially, it affects people emotionally and psychologically. The experience of alopecia is psychologically damaging, causes intense emotional suffering, and leads to personal, social, and work-related problems. There's an important link between hair and identity. That's taken from an article called The Psychological Impact of Alopecia by Nigel Hunt and Sue McHale from a medical journal called BMJ. And this can affect children and adults alike. So obviously, it's a huge problem, and there's key causes to it. One of the main ones is alopecia. Now, alopecia comes in 3 different forms. One of them would be alopecia areata, which is the loss of hair from patches of your head. The next one is alopecia totalis, which is the total loss of hair from your head, meaning the hair that you grow on your head, your eyebrows, and your eyelashes. And finally, there's alopecia universalis, which is the loss of hair from your entire body. In addition to that, cancer and chemotherapy plays a huge role in hair loss. Now, we can't make cancer go away, obviously, but what we can do is change people's outlook on cancer itself. Over 1,638,910 people in the US are diagnosed, and that was taken straight from cancer.org. Also, in an article called Childhood Cancers found on the National Cancer Institute's website, it is said that 10,400 children a year are diagnosed with cancer. Now, for these people to grow their hair back out, it can cost exuberant amounts of money, talking about Bosley and hair implant restoration surgery. And for us, we can help, and it's entirely free. Now, what I'm proposing is each and every one of us in this room grow their hair out long, they grow it thick, they grow it full, and they donate it to many different corporations and societies that donate their hair to people who are affected by cancer and alopecia. Now, there's many different places where you can go to do this. There's Locks of Love, Beautiful Lengths by Pantene, and Wigs for Kids, and each of them specialize in a little bit different areas of hair loss. Beautiful Lengths is the most feasible one because they only require an 8-inch minimum of your hair in a ponytail to donate. The next one is Locks for Love, which requires a 10-inch minimum, and Wigs for Kids, which is a 12-inch minimum. Now, there are certain requirements that go with donating your hair. For instance, there has to be a certain length, either 8, 10, or 12 inches in a ponytail, and your hair cannot be chemically treated or dyed, just because it has to maintain some strength so they can make a wig for it. Now, you can really go anywhere to do this. You can go to any barbershop or salon, and a lot of these places will help you out in finding the right corporation or right institute to donate your hair to. And a lot of times they'll even cut your hair for free. They'll wash it, and you can make such a positive impact on these people's lives by doing such an easy thing. Now, really, all you're doing is nothing. You're just growing your hair. You're not cutting it. And of course, there's some opposition that go along with this. One of the main ones is people don't even know that you can grow your hair out and donate it. Here I am now telling you, grow your hair out and donate it. Another one is obviously the fear of cutting your hair when it's so long. I know people who go into a salon and cut off 2 inches of their hair, and they're freaking out, like literal tears from their face. And with that being said, it's just hair. It's It's that simple. For us, it's just that easy. Our hair will grow back. We don't have to worry about it. And for the people that are affected worldwide, the millions of people, they don't have that type of freedom. So again, it's just hair. Don't worry about it. It'll grow back, and who knows. Now, of course, again, alopecia and cancer are a cause of this, and hair loss is a huge problem worldwide. There's a lot of things that we can do. All we really have to do is grow our hair out and not cut it and donate to these societies. And really what we're doing is such a small thing that's creating such a huge impact on these people's lives. It's changing their outlook on the disease entirely, and it's making them feel like themselves again. Now, in conclusion, really, you shouldn't have anything to worry about. All you have to do is grow your hair out and cut it eventually, and you're making such a huge impact on these people's lives, making them happy. All I can really say is grow your hair out, one with nature, be happy, be free, and make a positive impact on these people's lives.
How would you feel spending $12,000 every 2 years or $120,000? This is one of the questions that you had to ask yourself when you chose a community college over a 4-year school. Back in 2011, I had graduated from high school and got accepted to TCNJ. I was so excited. I thought it was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. And when I got there, it turned out to be a much different story. Among other things, I wasn't as prepared for a 4-year school as I had thought. And also, I had gone in undecided, and that affected the time and the money that I was wasting on classes that I didn't need because I didn't know what I wanted to do. Now, why should you listen to me? I'm someone who made mistakes in my college career. I tried that 4-year school, so I know what you guys are missing, or better, aren't. I'm attending Brookdale now and graduating this month, and I've had an opportunity to work as a part of the steering committee. This is a governance which governs our whole school, makes important decisions, and I've had the opportunity to work with different faculty, staff, and administrators, up to and including the president of our college, Dr. Murphy. It was really a great honor to work with her, and it has taught me a lot about Brookdale. Now, why should you even listen to this speech at all? You guys are sitting here in a Brookdale classroom. You made the right decision. I'm confirming how smart you are because you made this choice to go to a 2-year school. And now, with this knowledge that I'm going to give you, you can pass it on to your friends and family so they don't make the same mistakes that I did. So what I'm going to tell you about today are the facts. Brookdale and community colleges have the same classes, the same quality classes as 4-year schools. It's much more affordable, and it helps to bridge the gap between high school and college. So let's get started. General education classes. No matter who you are, what you're studying, or what school you go to, every student has to take general education courses. These are classes like maths and sciences, and even the one you're sitting in now, speech. Now let's say, just for argument's sake, that you went to Rutgers. You would probably be sitting in a classroom full of 30, 50, or maybe even more students with one professor. They're not going to have all that much time to help dedicate to you, and a lot of us need and maybe even want a lot of that special attention. At a 2-year school, you're going to have an opportunity to have smaller classes and more attention from your professors. And you might even find a gem of a professor who teaches you more than you ever thought they could. And I have had so many wonderful professors here at Brookdale who've taught me many different things about what I want to do. Now, my next point. Community colleges are much more affordable. The statistics for graduation debt are absolutely insane. According to CNN.com, 65% of graduates graduate with debt. And the average, specifically in New Jersey in our state, is $30,000. And I don't know about any of you, but I don't have $30,000 lying around just to spend on education, which is of course a wonderful investment, but nonetheless, I don't have that $30,000. With the money that you're saving going to a community college, you'll have a chance to explore all these different classes. Whenever I came to Brookdale, I had no clue what I wanted to do. And after exploring all these different classes, I am comfortably an English major now. And because I was saving so much money, I was able to explore all these different classes. And even if you don't want to spend more time and money on classes, you'll have more money for other things, like going out with your friends on the weekend, taking a vacation, or maybe saving up for a brand new car, which a lot of us could use. Now last, it helps to bridge the gap between high school and college. How many of us know what we really want to do with the rest of our lives? I know I didn't whenever I exited high school. I know a lot of 30 and 40-year-olds who still don't know what they want to do. Or maybe they got stuck in a career that they didn't want because they just had to move along with the flow. According to NBC News, 50% of students who declare a major change it 2 to 3 times, and that's the minimum, the very minimum. Now, what scares me about that statistic is not the number of students that it includes, and it's not the number of times they change their major, but it is the fact that it does not include students who haven't declared a major. How many times are they changing their major? How many times are they questioning what they're going to do, and how much time and money are they wasting taking these classes that they don't need? Even farther, I know, like many high school students, I took part of my senior year as a chance to relax. I had worked so hard for 4 years to get an awesome GPA and to get into that college. Why don't I deserve a break? I'm going to be working another 4 years and probably the rest of my life. Why do I deserve to work even harder? So luckily, I did not get hit as hard as most of my friends, but some of them in choosing a 4-year school got smacked in the face. And their grades dropped, they were at risk of getting kicked out of school, and they were just not prepared. Community college and Brookdale has given me an opportunity to prepare with the support of my friends and my family and my hometown around me. But at the same time, I've gotten to experience all sorts of clubs and activities and college classes in a real setting. So, in conclusion today, I told you about the facts. Brookdale and community colleges have the same quality classes as 4-year schools. Community college is much more affordable in the long run, and it helps to bridge the gap between high school and college. Take it from someone who's tried it. Choose a 2-year school and convince your friends to do the same.
So I'm sure that all of you have thought at least once in your life where you're going to go after you die. Well, nobody knows for certain what's going to happen to our soul, but we all have the choice of where our body's going to end up after we die. Whether you decide to be buried, cremated, or whether you decide to donate your body to science. If you do decide to donate your body to science, this is how doctors and medical students learn about the human body. This is also how forensic scientists can learn to investigate deaths and the time of death. And this is actually also a cheaper alternative than being buried or being cremated. From the official website of the University of Tennessee at Knoxville, last updated in March 2014, the Department of Anthropology receives over 100 body donations a year. All donations are placed at the Anthropological Research Facility, with the remains eventually accessioned into the William M. Bass Donated Skeletal Collection. So today, I'm going to convince you to donate your body to science after dying by discussing, number 1, the problem that there's not enough body donations a year. Number 2, what is causing this problem? Number 3, how we can solve it. And number 4, who would be against this. So, number 1, the problem, there's not enough body donations a year. Relating back to my earlier quote, 100 body donations a year at one of the top facilities that takes body donations, that's not a huge number. When it comes down to time, we could find cures and vaccines a lot quicker with more bodies. Also, forensic scientists would know a lot more than they already do now and be able to solve crimes quicker. According to scientist Zoe Crossland's article of Clues and Signs, The Dead Body and Its Evidential Traces from American Anthropologist in March 2009, she states, I traced the various conceptions of the body as evidence within the intertwined histories of anthropology, criminology, and medicine to explore how anthropological practice brings the dead into being through exhumation and analysis. When it comes down to money, people don't realize how cheap it is. According to Mike Testa, author of the article The Advantages and Disadvantages of Donating Your Body to Science, from funeraltips.com on January 6, 2014, by donating your body to science, you avoid costs associated with body burial in a cemetery. You may also be able to lower or reduce costs related to the headstone or memorial marker. So now that we know all the problems of not enough body donations, then let's see what's causing that. Well, number one, it's a lack of knowledge. A lot of people don't even know that it's an option at all. And people also don't realize how easy it is to become a donor. When I first started researching for this speech, the first thing I typed in on Google was donate your body to science. And I had a whole list of pages that told me where I can donate my body to science. I could sign up that day right now. About a year ago, my boyfriend's brother unexpectedly passed away, and he didn't have a great life insurance plan, so his family had no idea how they were going to afford a funeral or any kind of memorial for him. When they realized that they could donate his body to science, that's what they did, and they actually sent back the cremated remains for free, so they still have a way to remember him after he's gone. Another cause is that it's thought to be unmoral, and it's unaccepted by some religions. According to Lindsay Fitzharris's article, Mangling the Dead, Dissection, Past and Present from The Lancet, she states that, I never feel more alive than when I am standing among the rows and rows of anatomical specimens at St. Bartholomew's Pathology Museum in London, UK. In one jar floats the remains of an ulcerated stomach. In another, the hands of a suicide victim. Cabinets are filled with syphilic skulls, arthritic joints, and cancerous bones. The unborn sit alongside the aged, and murderers occupy the same space as the murdered. Especially after hearing a quote like that, where someone gets such joy out of being around jarred organs, it can seem unhumane. So, what's a good solution for this? Well, a good plan would be when you sign up to get your license, that first sheet that you have to fill out, if they could have a box where you check off if you want to be a body donor. It's just like when you sign up for your license, they ask you if you want to be an organ donor. Why can't they have a box like that for donating your body to science? The DMV should find agencies that take body donations and work with them so that when you do sign up at the DMV, you know your body is going to a good facility. Also, even if you're checking off at the DMV, if you don't want to be a body donor, at least you'll be more aware that this is even an option at all. So who would disagree? Well, a lot of people think that, they have their right to do whatever they want and that they shouldn't donate their body to science because they don't want to be worked on after they're dead. Also, a lot of people just aren't thinking about death when they're signing up for their license, so they probably feel a little weird checking off if they want to donate their body after they're gone. But everything that doctors and scientists know about our body is through science. So why wouldn't you donate your body and help out a good cause? So we talked about the problem that we don't have enough body donations. And we also know that lack of knowledge and causes not enough body donations a year. And a good way to change that would be to sign up at the DMV when you're getting licensed. We know that not everyone will agree, but if you love life, then donate.